Aasimar in Dungeons & Dragons are Nephilim. Welcome to my channel. I focus on tabletop role-playing games, video games, and science fiction. Genesis 6:4. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Okay, get your tin foil out and wrap your head with 2 layers, because this is a weird little rabbit hole we're going down today. Nephilim are an interesting discussion, and if you go looking for them on the web, you will find, shall we say, some interesting things. So who are the Nephilim? All right, I found an article, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to suggest this one. It's kind of weird, but they said that there are basically 3 different descriptions of who the Nephilim were. And one of them is that they were angels who cohabited with humans. That's the description in Genesis 6. They had children who were the men of renown. It gets finally, that's how you get some of the descriptions of the giants, and there's a whole bunch of descriptions of that. There's another odd little definition that they're descendants of Seth. Anyway, that gets a little weird too. And then finally, ones that really need the tinfoil hat are the ones who think that the Nephilim are aliens who came down on Earth. So all 3 of them get a little strange, but if you read the descriptions of the Nephilim and you read the descriptions of the Aasimar, they fit fairly nicely. So in essence, Dungeons & Dragons introduced, shall we say, a really kind of weirdness that I hadn't seen before since way back when Eldritch Wizardry was released. People getting when they introduced all the devils and the demons and so on. This is a strange one, and this is in the newest book, Volo's Guide. It's the Aasimar, and it also begs the question: doesn't that mean that Aasimar, or whatever, I can't pronounce them, and tieflings are actually brothers? This gets really freaky stuff, and that's why I said this is a strange one. Get your tinfoil hat on if you go start looking up Nephilim, because there's some really strange stuff about Nephilim. And yes, and then you run into all the weird archaeological evidence of weirdnesses there. I've seen some of this. It was just an interesting there. But when I started reading about the Aasimar, I'm going, oh. And then just from a dungeon master's point of view, because the Aasimar have a guide that they can talk to. This makes it really, shall we say, icky for a dungeon master to deal with Aasimar, because they can ask their guide questions all the time, which should help them. And is the guide always truthful? So yeah, Dungeons & Dragons went into the tinfoil area where you need to put a hat on when you start talking about this stuff, because it gets a little freaky, or it can get a little freaky. Tell me what you think about this. Am I just overreacting, or are Aasimar Nephilim like I think they are? Because that's what their descriptions fit well with everything. You take a look about the difference of the Aasimar, and then you take a look at some of the definitions of Nephilim, and you come up with them. They're the same thing. Thank you. I look forward to learning what you think about this video. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate all your comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. I appreciate both forms of feedback. If you're new here and would like to subscribe, you can click on the icon on the left. If you're interested, there's more content on the right.